Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name's Kristen, and today I'm going to be featuring some very fall-inspired shades that Madam Glam was nice enough to send over to me as PR. I got to pick all these colors myself, and I'm so happy they let me do that because I have been in such a fall mood lately, and these colors are going to be just perfect. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm making another insane set today. So here's how they're looking right out of the box, but of course we're going to swatch and take a look at every single one. And we're going to start with the shade Caffeinated, which is the only jelly color of the bunch. To me, this shade is very like a burnt amber kind of color. It did look a little bit different when I started swatching it, but I'm really liking the tone. And I realized right away that actually this is like the perfect tortoiseshell color, for the tortoiseshell effect for nails. If you have this color, you can do tortoiseshell. So I wasn't expecting that, but I was so happy about it. And I'm going to do, actually, I do this 3 coats as well. So here's coat number 2, but we're going to do one more just for good measure, just to see how it builds up. And 2 coats is totally good enough, but I do feel like this 3rd coat added a lot more warmth and richness. And yeah, just like a burnt honey, burnt amber kind of vibe. Loving this one so far. The next shade we're swatching is called Keep the Change. And for me, this is one of the standout colors. You can't quite tell yet, but it has a deep brown base and a bright gold reflect. And before I forget, if you are planning to pick up anything from Madam Glam, my code is STAB35. I'll have it listed in the description, and I'll put a link to their website as well. This shade was very transformative to me. Like at first, I was just getting like orange vibes or copper vibes. And I'm not sure if you'll really be able to tell from my swatch, but you'll be able to tell later in the video when I use it again. But it really does have like a true dark brown base without any like orange leaning to it. And then this gold reflect. And yeah, I think this one, it might actually be my favorite of the bunch. I don't know. I should have ranked them. Oh, no, I can't say it's my favorite because there's too many good ones coming up too. So this next one, Cherry Mocha, another standout. They're mostly standouts. So this one has a very deep berry base to it, and then also a kind of like lighter red shimmer. The cat eye particles in this one are smaller than the last one that we just tried. And yeah, you can see this one really well, actually. You can see the dark red base and that lighter red shimmer. It's so pretty. And I'm pretty sure dark cherry nails are trending, so this is the perfect color for that. Madam Glam's gels are always really easy to apply. They're smooth, they don't have a weird smell or anything, and the magnetic particles were super easy to move around. Okay, next up is apple cider. Like, you cannot get any more fall than this. Like, I'm so ready. Is it October yet? So the first impression, I'm getting copper vibes from this one. The base for this one is like a deep caramel color. Think apple cider. This one actually does have a very good name for what it is. So like a deep caramel base and then a soft copper reflect. Ooh, okay. Another standout. Shocker. I love this one so much. It's like the most beautiful beige I've ever seen. It has a beige base to it and then a bright champagne reflect. And maybe this one's my favorite. because it just seems so versatile. For me, it looks good even without activating the cat eye effect, but when you do activate it, it's just so, like, elegant. It's gonna work so good as, like, a base color or just on its own. I'm fangirling so hard for it, and it's just beige, but I don't know. And it also has the more small particles, the smaller particles, and yeah, that's Crispy Leaves. And lastly is Citrine Obsession. This doesn't really read as the color citrine to me, but it definitely is orange vibes all around. Imagine this one for like painting pumpkins on your nails. Yeah, this is like a perfect pumpkin shade. It's got an orange base and a bright gold reflect. This one has some serious Halloween potential. Like imagine this shade with like black accents or charms. I just feel like, yeah, wow, what a really beautiful shade for fall. And this one has the larger particles for the cat eye. This one's also the most blinding. It's so bright. Okay, so here's all of our cat eye shades together. You can really tell the difference between those more orange leaning shades now that they're all kind of stacked beside each other. And of course, our jelly friend over here, which I think is going to be such an amazing layering shade, like layered over the crispy leaves or really any of the other colors we got today. And aside from doing these swatches, I also did a couple of swatches using these new magnets that I just picked up. It gives the illusion of like a croc print is kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. So I did a couple of tests with Keep the Change and Citrine Obsession, and I'm really liking the way it looks. Here's how the magnets looked. I have them stuck to this little cuticle pusher thingy, and we will demonstrate this later in the video. For today's nails, I'm going to be sculpting a stiletto set. I picked up these stiletto tips a couple of months ago and they've been on my mind to use them, and today is the day. So I'm going to attach them with the rubber base gel from LGN Pro, and we are going to do a sculpted acrylic set today. And I'm excited to use these nail tips in particular because other stiletto tips I've tried before have all kind of had like a rounded shape. They've kind of bowed out on the sides, but these ones are very slim and straight, like very pointed. So I'm loving the shape. And if your base shape is good starting out, then the nail shape usually turns out really good too. I'm going to blend the tips into my nails using this slim nail file from Novo Ovo, which I love. I need to see if I can buy just a pack of the files on their own because I love this dainty little file. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to clean it up by wiping it down with some alcohol. And we're ready for the acrylic application. I'm using Cover Pink by Young Nails. I do not have a lot of this left. I bought it about 3 years ago when I started my nail journey. And I think this is the last set I'm going to be making with this acrylic. I was a little rusty with this application. It's been about 9 months since I've used acrylic, and for some reason, I felt like the acrylic was curing like a lot faster than I was working. And usually I do work fast. That's the main reason why I like acrylic more than polygel. I find it's like boom, boom, boom. You can get it done so fast. But yeah, for whatever reason, during this application, I maybe wasn't working fast enough, but the acrylic was curing faster than I was working, and it was a bit of a struggle throughout the whole application. For this video, I'm just going to be showing the application for this one nail, and then we're going to move on. Okay, the application is done. It's looking very lumpy and a little bit scary, so let's hurry and get into the filing. And the filing for these was actually easier than I thought. Like, I thought I was going to have to do a lot more filing than I did, so I don't think my application was as bad as I thought it was. I just did a little bit of bulk cleanup with the e-file, and then I do most of like the detailed shaping part at the end, which is like a hand file. And yeah, it didn't take me too long at all. Okay, so these have been shaped, filed, and buffed, and I'm taking just a little bit of acetone, which is what I like to do because it kind of melts the acrylic a little bit and gets out all those additional little scratches from the file or the buffer. We're starting with my favorite, Crispy Leaves, and I'm using this as a base color for the pinky nail. This is truly just such a stunning color on its own. I absolutely love this one. I can't say it enough. So for the cat eye effect, what I want to go for is a straight line down the middle, basically. And yeah, so I'm just going to go back and forth with my little magnet until I feel like I have that effect, which is pretty much now. And then we're going to use Caffeinated as a layering shade, just like I was hoping to do. So we're going to do one layer of Caffeinated over Crispy Leaves. And if you haven't guessed it yet, we are going to do a tortoiseshell effect on this nail. I couldn't help it. So I'm going to grab this blooming gel from Tickled Pink and do I'm going to try to do a thin layer of the blooming gel on this nail. I'm doing a lot of layers, but I don't want it to get too thick, you know? So you apply the blooming gel, you don't cure it, and then I'm going to start by adding dollops of the Keep the Change color, which is the one that has that dark brown base to it with the gold reflect. So I'm just kind of doing it, no rhyme or reason, just spacing them out, and they're blooming right away. And then after those are put down, I'm taking some black. This is a jelly black actually from Born Pretty. And I'm dolloping that kind of on top of the brown Keep the Change shade. And the black isn't blooming quite as much as I want it to. So I kind of go in and add a little bit more Keep the Change. And then I'll use the other side of my dotting tool to kind of move the gel around a little bit more. Once I feel like that looks good, I'm going to go ahead and cure it. And then this next step I think is optional, but I am going in with one more coat of the caffeinated shade, our beautiful little layering gel. It's literally the perfect tortoiseshell color. It was such an unexpected surprise. And anytime I do blooming gel, I actually always buff the nail down because I really don't like how like lumpy bumpy it gets. So yeah, I am going to take the time to actually like buff this nail smooth, and you'll be able to see it really doesn't affect the effect. You know what I mean? Like it didn't hurt the tortoiseshell for me to do that. It still looks absolutely great. So hot tip, definitely buff your nails down if you're doing the blooming gel because things get thick. And we're going back to Crispy Leaves again to do a base color for the ring finger. This time, though, I'm planning on doing a French tip, and I really only want the cat eye effect to be around the nail bed area. So I'm just playing around with the magnet until I get something that I think will look nice. I'm in my cat eye era where I feel confident that I can pretty much get most of the effects that I want to get. So we definitely play around a lot in this video with what we can do with these cat's eyes. But anyway, for the French tip, I'm going to be using cherry mocha. I wanted to feature as many colors as I could, and luckily all these colors go together really well. Once I've got that French outline basically where I want it to be, I'm going to fill in the rest using the brush from the bottle. The shade could be a one coater. Most of them could be, actually. But anyway, for this one, I'm going to do a cat eye effect that I have not done before. I'm going to do something called demagnetizing it. So I'm going to actually get rid of the magnet particles just so that I can get an emphasis on that jelly color. And then I'm going to go over with another layer, and this is the layer that we're going to magnetize. And it looks like I accidentally cut it out, but first I'm going to activate the glitter by doing that velvet effect. And then I'm going to go in with this new magnet that I have. And my first attempt did not work. It was like totally crooked. And so I wiped that away and I'm going to try it again, but like holding my nail very straight. And sorry, it's not the best footage, but that worked out a lot better. So we've got that very deep cherry red base and then a subtle croc print on top. I really love that. I can't believe I'm demagnetizing the gel. And I'm doing it again for this one. So for this one, I want a straight line down the bottom, but I actually don't want any of the cat's eye on the nail bed. So I'm going to try to get a straight line at the bottom half and then get rid of the particles for the nail bed. I'm getting so confident with this shit now. And I am mostly experimenting, like this set wasn't completely planned out. Like for the ring finger, I did cat eye on the nail bed, but then for this one, I was like, I don't want the cat eye on the nail bed. And also for this one, I was like, what if I try the tortoiseshell print by doing the black first instead of the brown? Because the black wasn't blooming that good the first time. So, very experimental over here. I can't help myself. So, for this one, I'm trying it with the black first, and it really didn't make a huge difference, in my opinion. The difference was very subtle, and I do think I do prefer going in with the brown first and adding the black at the end. But you know what? We've tried it now, so now I know. Okay, here's the progress so far. I made this little watch charm on my pinky. I wanted to make sure I could do it before I started filming a little tutorial, so I made it using gold chrome powder and some of this clear tip solid glue. Just mixed it together, made a little like ball, put it on the nail, and for this one, I'm going to try to sculpt a heart-shaped watch face. Once I have the basic shape, I'm taking a dotting tool and pressing out the center, making it kind of hollow in the middle. There's probably a lot of different ways to do this, but the tutorial I watched, this is how they did it. And I'm going to move on and do a second watch face on this nail. This time it's just going to be a circle shape, nice and easy. Next, I'm taking some white gel paint. This is the Pat Paint from Born Pretty, and I'm going to fill in that center area. So the white is mostly serving as a base so that I could put this moonlight shade on top because I didn't want the watch face to be white. I wanted it to be like a soft ivory color. So I'm going in and adding a generous amount of that polish to the center, and it kind of smooths out the inside as well. And then I have the daunting task of painting all the little ticks inside the clock, which is not easy to do. I really need to get some new glasses because I'd be squinting a little bit when I'm doing this, but I think it turned out okay. I did the best I could. Now I'm just putting a little dollop of base coat in the center, and I'm taking a little gold half bead and putting them in the center. Once I have those positioned where I want them, I'm going to give them a flash cure. Now for the watch hands, the tutorial I saw, they were using little pieces of wire to put inside, but I didn't have any wire small enough, so I just rolled out some of this glue gel and cut it into tiny little pieces, and that worked okay. They were a little tricky to place, and they were just so small, I kept losing the pieces, but I did get them in there, and because they don't really show up that well after I cure them in place, I'm going to take a little bit of a gold gel liner and just emphasize those hands so that you can see them better. And lastly, just take some clear glue gel and fill in the face of the watch. I didn't do the best job with this. I think it was just late at night and I was tired, but I wish I had been a little bit more patient when I was doing that step. But anyway, I think they turned out good. And yeah, that's how I made those little watch faces. Would y'all try this trend at home? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to work on these a little bit off camera, but then I'm going to come back to show how I did some of these chain decorations. So yeah, 3 out of 5 nails done at this point. Pretty chaotic, lots of little watches. So for this pointer finger, I used that Keep the Change shade, and you can really tell now that deep brown base. When I did the swatches, it really looked orange, but I'm glad that you can see this nail. Like there's no base underneath or anything. That's just one layer of Keep the Change, and then the first layer is demagnetized. Did another layer over on top, and then used that Croc print magnet. And it kind of turned out to be my favorite nail. I think an entire set with that print would look so pretty. For adding the chain details, this part is pretty easy. It's just a little bit time consuming, but yeah. Oh, and this piece is actually from like a real gold plated chain. I think it came from a random subscription box, a necklace, and I've used it a few times for nail decorations. I just keep cutting it up more and more, but yeah, there's technically a little bit of real gold on these nails. But yeah, we're pretty much at the end of the video. I'm going to do the top coat off camera. Okay, I'm creeping in with the finished set. What do y'all think of it? I'm so obsessed with the fall vibe. It feels so warm and bougie and definitely very extra. A big thank you to Madam Glam for sending all these beautiful shades my way. I'm so happy. Look how beautiful these look against the brown sweater. For me, the standout shades were Caffeinated, the jelly one, Keep the Change, the deep brown based one, and Crispy Leaves, the beige one, and Cherry Mocha, the red one. Those were my absolute favorite. of the bunch. Let me know which shades you are interested in. Be sure to use my code if you decide to pick anything up from Madam Glam. Please let me know your thoughts about this set and this video in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you watched all the way through to the end, thank you so much. You're the best, and I appreciate you so friggin' much. And I hope to see all of you in the next video. Bye!